What? Okay, we got Tom Morello here, doing some finger little... Looks like we have a little bit of a riff contest going on here. I love to see that. Right at the beginning, all these guys are professional guitar players who are millionaires and have done very, very well for themselves and are celebrated guitarists. But because they are lead guitarists, they have to do some very, very fast shredding / noodling to establish their guitar street cred. Basically, any guitar player, whenever they walk into a Guitar Center or any guitar store, is going to bust out their craziest riff right away, and they're just going to go... No, I like this. This is good, you know. And they're going to try to impress who's ever showing them the guitar. They're going to try and impress the other guitar players in the store. Now, that is a phase of guitarists that I was pretty sure one got past. I haven't gotten past it yet, but I'm antagonistic by nature. And in fact, actually, one thing that happens when you do go into a guitar store, if you're good, every now and then the guy who's like the best at the guitar store will grab a guitar and do a little noodle too, right? It's kind of like you'll peacock, and then they'll feel the need to peacock. If you can get the best guitar player at the store, who's generally the store manager for some reason, you rise up in guitar stores. I've never worked at one, but this is what I imagine. You rise up at a guitar store based on your guitar playing ability. Like, you can't have a stock boy out playing the floor manager. We're going to talk about the guitars too. It looks like this is made out of wicker. I know. Okay, so it's brown and black. I don't know which house this is. They're all supposed to be made. I know that the guitars are made after houses, of the different houses from Game of Thrones. I don't know which one this is. Really cool looking guitar. I love the two clay inlays here. I don't know if they're clay, but they're like a burgundy or brown or something. And then they match with this like leather looking pick guard that's really cool looking. Okay, that's the Tele. That's more like metallic. That's definitely the House of Stark, because they have the wolf mouth there. Yes, I've watched the show. Otherwise, looks like a pretty standard Tele. 3-way switch, 2 knobs. Looks like standard single coil Tele pickups. I bet it's going through some sort of big Fender reverb. That's a cool looking guitar. Look at that. The one that Nuno's playing is a Jaguar. Jaguars are these gorgeous... They're covered with all kinds of esoteric silliness, with buttons and switches that I know nothing about. I've only played 1 or 2. I love the way they sound. I think John Frusciante from Red Hot Chili's, some of my favorite guitar pieces have been written on beautiful, beautiful Jaguars. And Nuno Bettencourt is a spectacular player, and I dig his black nail polish.
For a minute, it sounded like Guitar Center 1988 in here. It was like a full... Oh, yeah.
That's a guy from Game of Thrones. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. Awesome. So this is Dan Weiss, obviously, creator and showrunner of Game of Thrones. Good to see him there. The guy on the right here with the glasses that we can't really see, he's in the background. That's a guy named Ron Thorn. He is a guitar maker at Fender, and he has a great video, and I'll link it in the description, on detecting fake Fenders, on detecting counterfeit Fenders, or really just telling the quality of the Fender. I will link it in the description if I can track it down. If I can't, you should just track it down, because that guy's name is Ron Thorn. Let's look at this guitar. It has 1 knob. That's a custom guitar, because he knows exactly where he wants his tone. I do the same thing. I very rarely move my tone. Sometimes I'll roll it off a bit. But I like my tone kind of where it is. Look at that, just like bright white, black pick guard, kind of like Art Deco-y, black everything else. I bet that's a bone nut up there. Very cool looking guitar, Dan Weiss from Game of Thrones.
Try to do a harmony, so what do you got for the main melody?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. The melody itself, the front.
Yes.
How much liberty is there? Meaning, when you're going like...
I'm just trying to remember to play the right notes.
All right. Tom Morello's just trying to get the notes down. Nuno's trying to like add a a fifth harmony onto it or something like that. Mad love to both of their approaches to the situation. It's a really great reminder, especially if you're like young and in a band and you're always arguing with your buddies about how to do something. Check it out. These guys are at the top of the game, and they're still figuring it out. Tom Morello is probably the most important guitar player since Jimi Hendrix, and the guy's just trying to catch up with the notes. Andy's a Cincinnati fan.
Instead of going.
Okay, this is the face. He always has this kind of demeanor about him. He's a rhythm guitar player, and he's there. And he's playing that Telly, which is great, because Telly's always a great rhythm guitar. Famous rhythm guitarist, famous for just being a cool dude and being a good guy in a band. He's been in bands with prima donnas before, and he's always chilled out. Scott Ian is a marvelous guy to have like in the center of your band dealing with a whole bunch of Michigas.
Could we just go?
Look at that guitar. Big old retro headstock on there. I'm sure this is not one of the... This is probably just his guitar, too. This is just a deep black with a black pick guard. You've got some like light cream-colored everything else. They've matched the maple cream-colored switch. Gorgeous. I love that guitar. Here's a question. Do you think you could enter... Like, if you're in a band, do you think you could come to band practice with like a Game of Thrones guitar and like stay in the band? I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. These things have got to be $5,000 a piece.
Could we just go?
Can we just do it correctly is what he's saying. Another great thing. So this is the composer. He's very gently reminding everybody that he's the composer. He's like, what if we just do it the way it's written? I love that. This is a man who will continue to be employed for the rest of his life. Good job, Jawadi. And then look at this look on Scott Ian's face here. That's the look of a band member hoping another band member doesn't have a moment.
That's the original.
I love all this. That's the original. Oh, got it. Okay. All right. Head down. Oh my God, guys. If you're a guitar player, you see all these dynamics happening. If you put 4 guitar players in one room, certainly 4 lead guitar players with one measly little rhythm guy in there, any amount of guitar players that you put in one room, especially like really good ones, you're asking for trouble. I don't blame Ron Thorn for standing back. Stand back. It's going to get weird in here. Nuno Bettencourt's a spectacular guitar player. I also love his home studio. He has some videos of his home studio. He has windows there, which I love. So I'm not trashing anybody here. Just a funny series of moments.
How long are we going to wait before you told us you're playing it live?
I was waiting for the tuning and then...
Yeah.
He's like...
He knew none of those were the tapes.
I'll let these guys hang out. I'll let these guys hang out.
All right, so we've broken the tension. And now we can play music together.
Yes.
But we have to bring in Brad Paisley.
Guys, Brad. Hey, what's going on?
You're the stunt
Brad Paisley.
guy? You're coming in? Nuno.
Tom Morello.
What we're doing...
That must be so cool when you're Tom Morello. You can just be like, Tom Morello, how you doing? I also didn't know that Brad Paisley's a good guitar player.
Like specific to know, it'd be great if somebody just did some beautiful... Just,
Look at this Nuno fucking alphaing again. You didn't write the song, man. Hey, what we'd love is if somebody could just do this, like, play over our stuff. Like, oh, man, Nuno, I love you. Nuno's a terrific player, but let the guy sit in here.
Oh, there we
sprinkle
go.
some fairy dust on
There we go.
You know it's quietly Tom Morello's.
Anything, that's what it's been missing. That's what it's been missing.
See, and well, he has to do his noodle. Establish his presence with his noodle. There we go. And call and response noodle. See, I'm still there with you. I can also do noodling.
Lead the charge.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Scotty and best genter in the world. People say you can't gent on a telly. I think they're they're definitely mixing different takes in here. This is a bunch of takes. That's cool. It would take me 50 takes. Like that octave bit there. Guys, I love this solo so much. Aside from his guitar being extraordinarily cool, this composer, this gentleman here, is doing a very kind of bluesy, pentatonic, heavy kind of Dorian style solo. Very bluesy, and to me, what he's saying to other guitar players is like, have fun. My guess is they probably wrote something for this also, but he's saying, have fun, like, do a solo. You don't have, this isn't a precious piece of music. Also, if you want to be a good rhythm guitar player, always look at your lead guitar player's hands like they're changing your life, whether or not they are. Look at Scott Ian's face right there. That's a supportive guy. That's a supportive guy. This whole thing is just going to be about how I love Scott Ian. All right. Great solo by Tom Morello. I love that solo. Really showing off the guitar there. A few things I want to mention. I love how they obviously told the camera guys just to do your own thing. And he's playing above the nut when he does those high-pitched things. So he gets that sound, by the way. That's a famous sound by Tom Morello. If you're not aware of Rage Against the Machine or Audio Slave, like, get extraordinarily aware of them. They're both extraordinary groups. Tom Morello is maybe the most important guitar player since Jimi Hendrix. I'm sure plenty of metal guys will disagree with me, but I love Tom Morello. That sound he has, I believe, just comes through like a bunch of different kind of wah effects that he's developed over the years and has played it in some incredible songs. And I love how he just busts it out here and adds it from nowhere and sends it through these 3 single coils of this guitar, which they can handle it well. I'm sure they have all kinds of 60-cycle hum dampening stuff on there, but those single coils sound good, and this is a bluesy, rocky, almost metalish style sound. Also establishes his noodle cred in there as well. Noodle cred, very important. Shred cred. Okay, Nuno Bettencourt, solo, Pal. He takes up right from where the composer of the song solo left off. Similar tone, bluesy, more crunchy than distorted, you know, more kind of classic metal than modern metal or rock. These are all according to me. People can disagree. First of all, they're all supporting each other, okay, which is difficult for lead guitar players to do. I love how he comes in with just a totally different tone to just like so you can really separate the two solos here. And it's like one of those things that if you ever find yourself in a situation with a whole bunch of guitar players, which you probably will one day, but if like you normally just want to rock out like if you like to put like that kind of tone on stuff, that's great, but it's not always applicable to every song you're in. So if you're in a group with a whole bunch of other people and that specific where you like to play all the time isn't exactly perfect, affect your tone a little bit. And that's what I think Nuno is doing here. Wow. Similar tone. I love Brad Paisley's guitar here. Look at that. That's low-key my favorite guitar of the day, guys. Maybe not. Maybe I like the other Telly. I'm a Telly guy. I love the like amoebas here on that. I wonder if that's a fabric, if they did that in fabric. I want to know everything about this guitar one day. I love the ashtray design. Looks like there's a fair amount of gunk in there. It looks like he has a 3 saddle. I can't tell. Great solo from Brad Paisley. I didn't know he could play that good. I don't know his music that well, but obviously I'm stupid because he can play very well. The pentatonic scale generally gets trashed as like some sort of rudimentary basic scale. It's just 5 of the 7 notes, right? Like it's not, it's not that limited. There's 2 other notes you can add in to make it a full scale. One thing that you, I think, get better at as you get further along in your guitar playing career is just not caring so much about playing some incredibly complex modal solo. I mean, if you want to, then by all means, if that's how your brain works. But if you're just a bluesy guy and you want to shred through some really quick pentatonics and have everybody be able to jump on board, you're going to be able to have a great groove like this. It's a great song. Gonna be nice to do. What? Dan Weiss not only plays guitar, but he's a shred master king thing? I'm going to listen to that solo again. All right, hold on. Before we go into the solo again. That's the look of a man who knows that he's been quiet this whole day. He hasn't said anything. He didn't get involved in any of the other stuff before. And he's about to outdo everybody here. Look at everybody's looking at him. They're like, what? I didn't know he could play guitar. I don't know if he's outdoing everybody here, but he's a lot better guitar player than I thought. Very quick. Awesome. Maybe I should do a reaction on this. Awesome. Very cool video, guys. I love this I love this video. I hope Fender does a lot more of these. Just people in a room playing guitars with each other. Really have a focus in on the guitar. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. I hope you had fun listening to these guitars. I know I did. Spectacular guitar players, all of these guys. Get into Anthrax, get into Extreme, get into Rage, get into Brad Paisley. Brad Paisley's probably doing pretty good. He probably doesn't need the ad. But yeah, get into the Pays, man. Crazy Paisley has that. Crazy Paisley. Is that his name on the streets? Get into all these guys, man. Get into Ron Thorn and check out these guitars. And if you've got the scratch, and if you buy one, I want pictures. I want information. If you've ever played one of these things, tell me about it in the comments, okay? If you like this review, want me to do more, have other ideas for reviews I can do, please put them in the comments below. Check out my channel for guitar reviews, backing tracks, lessons, tips, funny things, all kinds of things for you. Until then, keep playing.